It's April 19th, and I have a lovely bloom of Epiphyllum crenatum, or I guess it's Disocactus crenatus, today. Got quite a few more buds on this plant. It's a huge plant. It loves my conditions. It takes full sun, as long as it's not too hot of weather, too hot and dry. And my neighbor's dog is greeting me. I have a kind of a funny story about this one. I found a little piece, maybe about this size, on the floor of our show one year, and I recognized it because of the unique foliage this has with the crenated branches. And I took that little piece and rooted it, and it hasn't been 4 or 5 years, and this humongous plant has grown. And it blooms pretty well every year about this time of the year. You can see that obviously it was used in a lot of hybridizing. Beautiful, beautiful flower, even though it's white. Beautiful form. So that is Chichicastanango. And my Rhipsalis grandiflora is blooming here. Not the big spectacular blooms of the epi hybrids and species, but cute little petite blooms. All along the branches, buds, blooms. All the way down. I would imagine this plant's branches are at least 4 feet long, maybe 5 feet long. Oops, I've got some pots down here. Just covered with blooms. And next door to it, we've got Campos Portuana. Oh, it does have a couple of little blooms this year, this particular plant. I have a larger clone of this at the side of the house. Oh, this one has a few little blooms. Some years it's really covered, and other years just a few. This I also started from one little piece, like this, when I moved to this house. And that was, that was about 8 years ago. So in 8 years, it's gotten pretty decent size. I don't baby my plants, so they're under pretty tough conditions. So what they do, they do. A lot more buds here, getting ready to pop. Here we have Rhipsalis agudoensis. Huge plant. I got some cuttings from my friend Camilla, and it has really taken off. It does not bloom this time of the year. I think it usually blooms in the fall. Nice sturdy plant. Happy it's getting new growth. And here we have Bold Redemption, an Evelyn Cherokee hybrid. These blooms have been open, gosh. The one has been open for 3 days. I've gotten pictures of it every day. Well, we've had cooler weather this week. So last week we had really hot weather, which tends to bring out the blooms and make it bloom. And then the cool weather will make the blooms last longer on the plant. Sort of like if you're in the florist business and you keep your flowers in the refrigerator, they will last longer. Same idea. Bold Redemption is really beautiful. My friend Chris Welcher gave me this gorgeous plant. It's just loaded with buds. And then we've got, this is primary ignition. loaded with buds every year. It's a good bloomer. It's not much of a beautiful flower, but it, blooms reliably. So I do keep it around because you like to get those blooms every year. And this one does bloom every year. And what do we have here? A beautiful bloom. I believe this is space rocket. I'm going to have to zoom out. Oh, not that far. Here we go. Beautiful thing is kind of hiding here. Look how pretty. So that is Space Rocket, an old Fort Nobar hybrid. I've got a few more buds on this plant. I may take this flower over to visit my mother later today. She's in assisted living. She used to grow epies also, but she doesn't remember them anymore. I brought them over and she said, I've never seen beautiful flowers like that ever before. So it's kind of sad, but it's nice that she can appreciate the beauty still anyway. And here is more. Wow, I've got so many blooming on this plant right now. Look at this. It's another one. Got like 4 blooms right now. 5 blooms actually. 6 blooms. Good heavens. And a couple of blooms that have already finished. We're going to have one more opening in a day or so. Really pretty. I love the form of this. Kind of like a lotus. Funnel shaped. This is Lepismium floribundum. Looks very similar to Lepismium cruciforme, but apparently it's a different, totally different species. And I just repotted it, so the flowers will probably stop until the roots get more established, but it does have a few more buds. I'm telling you, it blooms just like non-stop. These pretty pink little blooms. And this is my other Rhipsalis campos portuana. It bloomed already, and it is setting some little berries, which I'm kind of excited because I've had it bloom in the past and it's never set fruit for me. And the fruit on this is supposed to turn like an orange color, so that'll be fun to watch. And I've got another iris going on here. I can't recall the name of this one. I think it's called Another Woman, which is, I believe, a Berry Blythe hybrid. It's just so pretty, all the purple and the orange beard. A lot more blooms to follow. Have to get down there and get it weeded out. I had quite a few iris at my other house, but I just don't have a place for them here. I don't have an iris bed. So I have a few growing in pots, and they do okay. They don't do quite as well as they do in the ground, but this one's not being held back much. So that is beautiful. And I have a little echinopsis or some sort of a cactus flower blooming here. I don't know if it's an echinopsis. It's Trichocereus maybe. It's a big huge stalk that it's growing on here. Huge plant. This one's going to bloom. And the flowers are very pretty orange. Nice sight to greet me as I came out this morning. I missed the other one there. There were 2 blooming. Well, here it is, Tuesday, April 22nd, 2025. I have not gotten my previous video posted, so I thought I'd go ahead and add a little bit more onto it. This beautiful plant is Pfeiffera miyagawe, Look at the beautiful orange blooms. This is the first time I've had, oh, there's a little hummingbird there. How sweet, he came to check us out. I got sidetracked there for a minute. I heard that buzz by my ear. But look how pretty that is. Beautiful deep orange. It's that butterscotch color. That's all the rage in the epiphyllums. And here you get it naturally in a species. So we've got several blooms all over this plant. There's a little one down there. Very pretty. We've got more at the edge of this branch. More buds. More up here. So yeah, quite a beautiful, beautiful plant. I got this plant at the Huntington Library plant sale last year. And it has put on quite a bit of growth in a year. I'd say it's probably doubled in size, and I'm really, really surprised and happy to see it blooming. I wasn't quite sure it would bloom, so that's really beautiful. So that's Pfeiffera miyagawe. There's no scent to the flowers at all, which is pretty typical for cactus flowers. But here we have Rhipsalis clavata, delicatula, and it is just loaded with blooms. Look at the pretty little bell-shaped blooms. More to come. It's just gorgeous from every angle. I had to bring this out from the side of the house so I could really get a good look at it. Just covered, and the blooms smell wonderful. They have kind of a light lemony, jasmine-y scent. This is probably the best flush of blooms I've ever had on this plant, and I've had it for about 7 years now, 7, 8 years. And I've had a few blooms here and there on it in the past. This year I did keep it outdoors all winter. We had a mild winter. We didn't really get anything down in the 30s this year. And the weather seems to have been just perfect for it to really put on a nice show. So that's Rhipsalis clavata. And I believe this is the delicatula variety. It doesn't have the real thick clubby ends, just kind of thin and, as the name suggests, delicate. The bell-shaped flowers. Let's see if we can get a little better view of the, oops, really contrasts with that red nail polish. There we go. The inside of the bloom. So this is a real treat. Just so pretty. And like I said, you know, I could discern the scent before I even got close to the plant when I came outside earlier. Just a really nice, delicate, lemony, jasmine-y fragrance. So yeah, this is an exciting time, a thrilling moment for me, because I am just blessed with so many blooms on this plant this year. And let me step back so you can kind of see. As you can tell, at the top of the pot, it's sort of not a lot going on. It mostly grows out from the ends, doesn't do a lot of branching. So how do you like that? That is really awesome. And over here we've got some more blooms. These were really nice yesterday. They were nice and crisp. They've been open a couple days and they're starting to fade. This is Disocactus crenatus, Chichicastanango. Some really pretty blooms. There's one back in the back that just opened today. One of the parent of our Epiphyllum hybrids. And check out how this plant really loves my conditions. This plant is humongous. And I started it from just a tiny little cutting. A little scrap. It wasn't even really much of a cutting. It was maybe a 3-inch piece. So it has grown by leaps and bounds. So that's it for what's in my garden this week. Thank you for watching, and I hope you'll like my video, subscribe to my channel, and we'll talk to you all again next time. Bye.